Man, it has been a long time since I did a JWA Fixes video, and there is a reason for that. It's mostly to do with how the game is at the moment. With every single update, they just introduce a brand new creatures with brand new abilities, and these abilities just, like, absolutely crazy. Well, actually, at the same time, it's like, they're insane, but at the same time, they're lazy, because they don't feel unique most of the time. For example, Crushing Prowl is just a very lazy mix of Ready to Crush and, well, Prowl is just like, because if it was a truly good ability, it would have, like, the whole team would have gotten the critical chance, but no, only the Baryonyx gets the Thylaconix gets the critical chance because of the Prowl half already increases critical chance, and that's only for one character. I mean, one dinosaur or creature. And it is messy. Like, all these abilities are just messy, and it's just like, it's just draining to see all these random abilities thrown in. And, yeah, it just kind of killed my motivation to continue doing this. But I am aware that this is my most popular series. Well, no, not really. Actually, the main series is more popular than this now. But I do know that this series does have its fans, and it would be pretty cruel of me to just abandon it just because I lost interest, and it's like, everyone else is still... And of course, it's not like I've fully lost interest. I'm just, like, not as motivated. I still want to do it. It's just... Let's just jump right into it. Tortoises time. First of all, we have Megalocheles. Again, just like the Irish elk, I wasn't aware... Okay, so... I don't know if Megalocheles is just, like, another name for Carbonemes or something. But as far as I'm aware, it's its own thing. Unless I'm wrong. Because I know I said the Irish elk. I thought the Irish elk was its own thing, but it turns out no. That was just Megaloceros, and unfortunately I found out by watching that horrible, horrible river movie. As for its, like, ability, like, I actually did give it a... I was planning on doing this, like, ages ago. But again, I was held back by certain things. As I just mentioned what those things were. I tried to make this thing pretty simple, just superior vulnerability and precise rampage. And then simple attacks, simple stats, and then of course, this is the new one though. Made myself, gradual armored counter. Every time you hit it, it increases its armor by 10% for 4 turns, 8 attacks. So you just keep hitting this thing, and it's just gonna keep gaining armor. That's basically it. It's also got, like, some very small resistances. I also added, like, this was back when I actually gave my creatures, like, special spawn points. Like, for this one, the Megalocheles spawns as a minion for the Vitaraptor boss, and it can be found at fishing and malls, because I do like how Gorgosaurus is, like, exclusive to Thursday, but it's also available at restaurants, and I wish more creatures were like that than just... Well, I can't complain because they are bringing out more creatures that spawn everywhere. Even if it is only short range, only, they still spawn everywhere. So I can't really complain with how they're treating the spawns now. Here's the only rare tortoise I have. It's Meolania. Well, we all know Meolania. This thing, was it ever good? I remember it, like, it was always overshadowed by its, epic counterpart, which was Carbonemes, which we'll get to in a second. But for now, Meolania, it's just not a good tortoise at all. Disperse superior vulnerability, so it can counter flocks now. Devastation is the same. Emergency group heal as opposed to lesser emergency group. Honestly, that's just such a terrible move. It's like, even, like, it already has such low amount of healing, and you want to give it even less healing? Gosh. Also gradual armored counter. So again, this one can come up to, like, I mean, maybe that is a bit too OP, but it's like, if you have, like, an armor piercer or a shield, well, you don't even need a shield breaker, just armor piercing is enough, and this thing is gonna die. Also armor reducer, like Direwolf. Also added some resistances. Basically a lesser version of Entellolania. What the heck happened here? Did they remove the Ophthalmosaurus photo? Is it just the Ophthalmosaurus? Because, no, it's what the heck? I'm pretty sure this is the only epic tortoise. I don't remember making another tortoise, so this is the only epic tortoise. Disperse superior vulnerability. All of its resistances, I mean, abilities are the same. I did boost its damage by 100 because I don't like having any creature below 1,000. Gradual armored counter. Harden on escape. It's basically like invincibility on escape, except with armor as opposed to shields. Yeah, except it really doesn't matter too much. I could have just left it at 50% and that would have been enough. And then I think I just increased its resistance, like, I just gave it a distraction resistance and made it immune to stuns. Everything else is the same. I remember, actually, I was going to make this thing, give this thing bleed resistance. But then I decided, nah, then that would mean it's just replacing the Ankylosaurs, which would completely defeat the purpose of that video where I buffed the Ankylosaurs. And here is Carbatoceratops, which is probably the worst tortoise in its tier, which it's the only tortoise in its tier, but like compared to Carbonemys, no, wait, it's better than Mealing. Oh, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. I gave it Cunning Strike because it just makes sense to give it an upgraded version of Distraction. Don't even know why I would just have regular old Distraction anyway. Dig In Taunt is the same, Devastation's the same, Harden as opposed to Expose Weak Spot. Did I at least give it any sort of vulnerability? I did not. Huh, that's not good. I should probably fix that, but let's see. Also swap in Stunning Strike as opposed to just Headbutt. Counter Slow is just like, it doesn't attack, it just reduces your speed for 2 turns. And then Harden on Escape as well. Resistances have been altered a bit. Now, I need to change this thing around a bit so that it has vulnerability. Okay, let's see what we can do. Just counter, add on a to its counter, we'll add, where is it, negative, impose vulnerability for 50% for 2 turns and only 1 attack. That sounds about right. And just for the heck of it, I'm actually going to do this so it attacks all the opponents. There we go. And we're going to change the name because this isn't Counter Slow anymore. It's Counter Slowing Vulnerability. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And then we'll just replace Counter Slow with Counter Slowing Vulnerability. And there we go. We have the new and improved Carbatoceratops, now with Vulnerable attached. Mealania is already pretty solid for a creature, so there wasn't really much for me to change, except I added just a few small changes. Minor Heal on Escape, because that was Entellabot's signature move, and it just seems crazy that Entellania wouldn't have it. Even if it does make it similar to Carbonemys, I feel like it's different. Sorry, Testacarnibus. That's what I meant to say. I feel like it is different enough that that doesn't feel like it's replacing it. It also has Swap In Deceleration, which is where another part of Entellania, so it keeps that shield-breaking personality it used to have. That's it. That's all I changed for Entellania. Also, side note, I did go back and change a bunch of uniques, and honestly, a bunch of my creatures that I already covered, I had to rework them again because the meta's changed so much that my reworks already feel like completely useless. Like, that Bone Break does not feel very good anymore now that we have all these new creatures with new fangled abilities. Like, Definite Shield got buffed, immediately got replaced with, like, Geminitis. And it just feels like this thing is just like, ah! Anyway, here is the new creature I made. Oh yeah, so by the way, I did not draw any pictures for these because I just don't have the motivation to draw these anymore, because I'm already focusing all my talents on other things, like the, well, if you saw last week's video, well, then you'll know what I'm talking about. This is a combination of Myoberta, which is like Maiasaura and Albertosaurus, followed by Megalocheles, which makes Myabelles. Is this even balanced, though? I don't think it is anymore. It feels... all these moves used to be so good, and now they just feel so vanilla, and that's crazy, because Instant Rampage used to be such a big move. And now it just feels, these moves feel like nothing now that we have, like, all these other abilities. So, yeah. Much like the red-footed tortoise, these shelled animals can be observed eating carcasses for extra protein. However, the maternal instinct of the Maiasaura is still present, as these tortoises protect infants that aren't even their own. I'm not sure, I don't even know if tortoises protect their young or not. I know sea turtles don't, they just lay their eggs and then bugger off. It's your food for the birds now. I'm looking at it, it's pretty meh. I feel like I should rework it, but I really don't. No, I did give it a rework. I gave it Dispersed Superior Vulnerability. It does have 2 instant abilities and a ton of armor, so that should balance it out, right? There it is, Iguanabelles, Iguanosuchus, which is from Jurassic World, the game, and Myabelles, which we just covered. This is a giant wild card with, like, big, pretty mediocre stats, honestly, but pretty high in regard of those stats, Disperse Superior Vulnerability, Ferocious Dig In, Fierce Devouring Rampage, Instant Dominant Rampage, I don't remember making this! Okay, Break Shield, Bypass Armor, Attack times 2, 75% chance to stun for 1 turn. Huh, and it's a priority move? I think I basically just made, like, an instant shattering, stunning rampage. That's basically what I did. Okay, yeah, that one's okay. That's a good thing to have. Like, it just feels like every single creature I need to make needs to have some sort of ridiculously OP ability. Expose Encounter, Swap in Heal, no on escape though. And then as for its abilities here, well, you can see these. They're okay. Oh, Resistant to Bleed. Oh my gosh, this thing's... Yeah, this thing... I think the only thing holding it back is its health. That's really it. And then after that, a combination of multiple species resulted in a tortoise that is comfortable in almost any environment. These shelled reptiles have been found in swamps, blizzards, grasslands, and even alleyways. Now, obviously, I don't think a tortoise would be capable of surviving in a blizzard, but, you know, I'm just trying, you know, whatever. It's just, we're going full sci-fi. If I want to say that there's a tortoise living in the Arctic, there's a tortoise living in the Arctic. That's about it. I don't have any other tortoises. They're really, because I'm not a tortoise expert, so I don't have that many tortoise-themed animals to go over. So, yeah, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one where I do the Baryonyxes, the Baryonyx family, the small Spinosaur family. Bye.